All right, guys, this is DJ REM from Rock Addict Radio, and have Jonathan from the band Eugenic Death. How you doing, dude?
Doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. So why don't you go ahead and start with mentioning yourself and your spot in the band and everyone else that's in the band?
Well, I'm Jonathan McCandless, you mentioned earlier, and I'm basically the founder of the band, and as well as the primary songwriter at this point. It was founded in December of 2010. It didn't really start out as a band idea per se. I'd recorded several songs years prior to the formation of the band, and I thought it would be a good idea to have it recorded professionally. You know, the idea of a band didn't really come until we really started discussing it, and I found members to accompany me, and then I thought, you know, once this is recorded, what am I going to do? Am I going to just say, hey, here's music by Jonathan McCandless with these guys, or, you know, it would probably be in our best interest to form a band, so that's how it started. Keith Davis, which is our current vocalist, is a good friend of mine. He has been for years. He used to play with them probably in 2005, I believe, and so he was the first person that I went to do vocals. And then his best friend, he's playing bass for us now, and then we found a drummer from there shortly after, and it really worked well.
Very cool. And so how often do you guys all get together and practice?
Well, I travel the country for a living, so for that, and our drummer is in college, so it's easier said than done to get us all together in the same place.
Yeah, no doubt, eh?
Yeah, so usually it's weekends if we can do it at all, but we haven't really practiced in, I'd say, a month, because I've been out here trying to get finances together, you know, to put towards the band and everything. So but hopefully we'll start getting out there and playing shows again. I know everyone wants to do that, including myself.
Very cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck in finding venues and everything. So, cool, man.
Yeah, thanks.
So, what got you into music? What are your influences that made you want to do this?
For that question, I could give you the longer or try to summarize it the best I can. I mean, I'm a natural drummer, so, I mean, I've always been into music. I mean, ever since I was 5 or 6 years old, I was banging around on something, you know, pretending it was a drum set. And then, you know, my parents take me to music stores, and I would get behind their kids and play drums for a while, and then go home. They never really purchased a drum set for me, so I guess that kind of fell away. But, and then I think in '98, I started picking up the guitar, and I took lessons from a local music store with a guitar teacher there that really enhanced my, I guess, my taste in music and my the bands that I'm familiar with now. He kind of opened the doors a little bit. I mean, I was listening to Judas Priest back in, well, when I was about 11 years old. I discovered them on the radio, and that's how I got into metal.
Nice.
And I didn't even know who they were. I caught the tail end of You've Got Another Thing Coming, and I was hooked into metal ever since. And then as time progressed, I got into harder and harder music, and I really fell in love with thrash. I mean, even today, nothing really compares to thrash metal for me as far as the aggression goes. As soon as I heard, you know, Metallica, Megadeth, soon after that, I knew I wanted to be in a metal band and play metal. And that's what I'm doing now. Like, Megadeth is pretty much the reason why I'm doing this. They really helped create the style that I play.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I have to tell you, when Clawhammer sent your tracks to me and I listened to them, I'm like, oh my God, these guys shred. And then I started playing you guys on my show, and the listeners were like, who are these guys? These guys are really good. So you keep doing what you're doing, because you guys are very good. I really appreciate your music.
It's really neat because, you know, I'm just playing stuff that I want to listen to. Like if I saw a CD, this is what I would want it to sound like. So that's what I'm playing. I'm not really trying to copy anybody or anything. That's by different bands, but I mean, what I put together, and like Keith's song is included in this. He did write a part of one song, and it really sounds unique. Like, I mean, to me, and I've heard other people tell me this as well, that it's like been recorded in the 80s. That it sounds like music that came from back then. It's not a carbon copy. So I'm really happy to hear that other people say that as well.
Yep, very good, man. So, where did you record this current album at?
We recorded it at Rotten Studios in Clemens, North Carolina.
And then how long did that process take for you guys?
We were in and out of the studio for, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 weeks. I mean, we got the material laid down in one weekend. And then I was out of town, and our engineer was out of town, so we really couldn't get together and finish everything. So that's why it took so long. But we got it.
Yeah, very good. And then the question I'm sure everybody asks is, but I'm going to ask anyways, is how did you guys come up with the name Eugenic Death for the name of the band?
I had a feeling you were going to ask me that. I'm glad you did, because I beats for it. I basically came up with the name. Are you familiar? That was the question. Are you?
What's that?
I mean, I was asking if you were familiar with the term eugenics.
Not really.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, eugenics was an ideology that really just 40s. People should be sterilized based on their race. Like, if such and such person isn't fit to have children because,
right. Okay.
Stuff like that. Anyway, and Hitler took it too far in Germany, and that's what most people associate eugenics with. And we've even been called Nazis for it by a couple people. And I had one guy come up to me during my shows and ask me when I was going to put swastikas on our T-shirts. It's like, this isn't that kind of band.
Right.
We're against eugenics, but even then, people don't even know what the word means, nor can they really pronounce it. So I almost regret naming the band, because most people, they want to pronounce it eugenics, and but I didn't really think about that. Well, can people understand what this word means? Is it good for promotion? I don't know. We'll see how it works in the end.
Well, it definitely is an awesome name for a metal band. So, hey.
Yeah, I thought so.
So, where can people find out more about you guys? What kind of social networking sites, websites, and stuff are you guys at?
You can find us on Facebook, heavenandhellrecords.com, our Reverb Nation page, reverbnation.com/eugenic-death. Mainly, if they just Google us, they'll find probably 30 or 40 websites that we're on.
Okay, very cool. And yeah, I definitely, I've already friended you guys on Facebook, so I definitely know you're there. If I grabbed your iPod or your MP3 player, however you listen to music, what kind of stuff would I find you listening to right now?
Right now, Morbid Saint, Demolition Hammer, Mortal Sin, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Megadeth, Split, Overkill, classic thrash.
Cannot go wrong with those guys.
A lot of obscure thrash too. Trying to find more and more, that really didn't, more bands that really didn't make it back in the 80s. And, there's a couple of them that they maybe put out one album and then they expanded, or maybe two. So I really like bands like that.
Very cool. So, what do you hope to accomplish with this band? Where do you hope to be in a couple years with this?
World tour in a couple of years. I don't know how realistic that is, but I I'd like to put out at least another album, maybe two, in a couple years. Play some more shows around the country. That's pretty much my objective right now.
All right. Well, very cool, and I wish you the best of luck with that. I think once people get out there and hear you guys, are going to fall in love with you. So
that would be nice.
yeah, definitely, right? So what sets you apart from all the other bands out there? You know, there's a gazillion bands out there trying to make it. What sets you guys apart from the other bands, in your eyes?
As arrogant as it may sound, I think that we're better than a lot of the newer thrash that are out there today. We're faster. Our lyrics isn't just talking about party and thrash is back and, let's have sex with all these chicks. We're scripture about things that either happened in the past or, things that are going on right now in this country and other countries. So it's meaningful lyrics that people can relate to or, wake up to.
Very cool. And then I have to ask you, the artwork on the album cover, who designed that?
Actually based off of one of our tracks called The Devil Waits. And I got a guy named Sean Kahn in Rochester, New York, to do the illustrations for it. Did a really good job. I was impressed with it.
Yeah, I really appreciate bands that put some effort into the cover and it not just a picture of themselves and actually have some, like your cover, some illustration. So very cool.
Right.
Because I tell you what, I don't know about you, but if I see a Iron Maiden album, I just know by the cover that's Iron Maiden. Doesn't have to say Iron Maiden on it.
Yeah, exactly. Just a picture of, who are they? But an illustration, especially like art, it really stands out.
Very, very, very true. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a show you have done?
Craziest thing that's ever happened at a show.
Okay, so anything else you would like to tell everyone that's going to listen to this interview about you guys? Anything that I haven't asked you that you want to make sure people know?
I think you've covered everything.
Okay, I guess I've done my job then. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thing to ask you, though. I would love a couple radio tags if you wouldn't mind making them so I can play them before your tunes.
I'm Jonathan from Eugenic, and you're listening to RockAddictRadio.com.
Perfect. And then the second one, do the same thing, but add in there that you're listening to DJ REM at Rock Addict Radio.
I'm Jonathan McKilless from Eugenic, and you're listening to DJ REM at AddictRadio.com.
Okay, cool, dude. Appreciate it. Thanks for taking the time to call me. And like I said, this will be uploaded to YouTube later in the week. I'll have it. I'll post the link on your Facebook page and Clawhammer's page. And then feel free to spread it around.
All right, I appreciate it.
And we'll keep spinning your tunes for the listeners. So, rock on, man.
Thanks, man.
All right, have a great day. Have a great weekend.
All right, you too.
All right, bye.